What's going on, everyone? This is Austin Doctor, and welcome to the final review of Yuuna in the Hot Springs episode 12. And I'm just going to start off by saying this anime literally was the DxD of summer, next to How Not to Summon a Demon Lord, but I would put this above How Not to Summon a Demon Lord. I thoroughly enjoyed it, reading ahead of the manga too. It's honestly one of the favorites to read, I guess, for me. But let's start off with the episode. So we have Yuuna waking up to Kogarashi instead of Kogarashi waking up to her first, and I thought that was a good contrast to kind of show that it's the final episode, to have the roles reverse, I guess. But Kogarashi, of course, grabs Yuuna in his sleep by mistake, and he gets thrown into the river, and we haven't seen that in a little while, so it was refreshing. I kind of like that's how their relationship is. I know people get kind of annoyed of that cliche, but people keep watching shonen and think it's amazing, like My Hero Academia. But anyways, besides that point, Sagiri and all the other, well, besides Obara and Noko and Yuuna and Kogarashi, are all leaving to go back to visit their families or to a shrine. Like Yaya is going to a festival, and Sagiri is going to her village, as I previously said. And Noko is actually in a pinch again with her good old, manga again with the manuscript, and she needs Kogarashi's help again. And Kogarashi's like, "Oh no, what are we gonna do?" And Noko actually takes Kogarashi, Yuuna, and Oboro to a summer house that she rents. And basically there's a romantic legend nearby the Cape, and is kind of setting up for this episode. And truthfully, in the manga is completely off from, well, the anime's in the manga, two different timelines. And I'm kind of happy they actually went with this one versus the manga, because the manga, it's good, it's just sometimes it kind of like, okay, I guess it works that way. But they make it work, so I'm not complaining. But so we see Noko and Kogarashi kind of have their little thing, and she makes Kogarashi put sun oil on her, and of course makes the wonderful sounds that you would probably need to go put headphones in, go into a dark corner, and not let anyone hear what you're listening to, because they think you're watching something else. Thank you very much for that scene. I had to do the same thing almost. But anyway, so we see Oboro kind of get an understanding of how she can get skinship with Kogarashi with the sun oil, and she, of course, gets what she wants, and Yuuna wants Kogarashi to do the same to her, because I don't know if it's 100%, as I said, this is all fantasy and mythical stuff. She gets sunburned if she is solid on the beach, and I'm like, okay, I'll give you that. So, of course, she gets Kogarashi to put sun oil on her, and of course she freaks out and throws Kogarashi into the ocean, and while he was going for it, he kind of said, "Oh, this is a new record." And Kogarashi sees the ghost about the legend, and the legend's actually about a boy and a girl running away to get married, because they were kind of shunned about being, the whole marriage thing back then in Japan. You couldn't just get married to whoever you want at the end of the day. And she actually waited at the Cape for him, and he died on the way in a car crash, and she jumped off the cliff to be with him. And Yuuna actually started to talk about how she feels bad for the girl, and how it's horrible that she's been waiting there the entire time for him, but he isn't there. And Kogarashi decides that he'll help, the ghost. And we see Kogarashi and Yuuna actually go up to meet Aimi to, help her. And the boy is actually, I'm going to call him boy, because Yushushani, I don't want to keep saying that. And he's actually down the road from Aimi. And Aimi is an actual bound ghost. She can't go anywhere. That's who she is, and that's what kind of type of ghost she is. And Kogarashi and Yuuna actually go to the boy, and the boy is actually extremely scared that Aimi is very mad. And that's kind of why he hasn't gone to her. And I'm like, okay, this is directly from the manga, which I'm thoroughly impressed. And Aimi actually died trying to save the guy, and I thought that was actually really romantic with that whole thing. And it's building up, and this is all, if you don't know, this is building up, Kogarashi and Yuuna's kind of relationship, trying to put that up on a pedestal after, which is a very nice, tactic to put in writing, and I think it's well done. But Kogarashi actually tricks the guy, saying that he's going to basically make Aimi send, so she doesn't become an evil spirit, to either go over there to have your final words, or she's just going to disappear and he's going to be with it himself. And of course, the boy makes it to Aimi, and Aimi actually punches the poor guy out of anger, and he says, I'm thankful that you actually waited this long for me. And it, man, the feels train, that's all I gotta say. It was just beautiful. Well done scene, especially from the manga. It's just 10 out of 10 for that one. Then of course we have a little cut back to Kogarashi and Yuuna and how it's been almost half a year together. They've been, well, not been together, lived together. And Kogarashi actually asked Yuuna about her life before she was dead. And we have a cut to Oboro and Noko having their little talk while watching the fireworks, and they talk about how if Yuuna falls asleep, she's going to go flying back to the inn, and she, of course, will fly back to here because she's super fast. And that's kind of what they cut out of the manga, which I can understand. But Oboro actually asked the question that Kogarashi asked, who is Yuuna? And this is a question, and I can tell you the answer, but I'm not going to, unless it sneaks out. But anyways, Yuuna actually doesn't remember being alive. The memories that she only has, the earliest memories that she remembers, is her waking up in the inn. And ghosts usually talk about their lives before they were, dead, and Yuuna doesn't. And Yuuna doesn't know her lingering regret. She's not a spirit, but anyways, we actually have a flashback when Kogarashi's sleeping to his childhood about this evil spirit taking over. Then it turns into a nightmare about Yuuna actually getting basically forced to go back or go away. And Kogarashi tries to grab her hand to help her, but he misses. And this is kind of Kogarashi's... He doesn't realize it just yet that he actually likes her in that way. And of course, Kogarashi reaching out to save her, and outside of the dream, gropes Yuuna and gets thrown into the ocean. Then Yuuna flies down and apologizes to Kogarashi, but says it's not so bad to be like this. It's kind of making her happy. I'm like, oh, that was sweet. And of course, Kogarashi splashes Yuuna, and it just turns out, of course, they're happy to be waking up to it next to each other. And Kogarashi promises to not let Yuuna ever become evil because he doesn't want to lose her. And we have the aftermath of the summer vacation. If you don't know, I'll do a quick rundown because it didn't really explain it too far. But Kogarashi was working his summer job. He, of course, made it to Yaya's good old festival for the cat gods, and Yaya actually has this one cat god that's kind of mean to her because she always tricks him into playing with the little toys that she has, and he ends up getting laughed at. And good old, Sagiri, her cousin, in her or at her house, and the grandmother is talking about how Sagiri should get married to Kogarashi, and it turns into this weird thing because you see good old Sagiri's cousin like, oh, I gotta beat her. So she takes actually Kogarashi and says this is her boyfriend, and Sagiri realizes who it is, and it just becomes this awkward situation, and Sagiri kind of gets mad about it. But it was really nice to see that, I guess, it being mentioned at least, because it could have been completely cut out. But if you do want to see all that, I do suggest looking at the manga. It's on Kiss Manga and multiple manga websites. You could buy the manga. It's a good way to support them, but we see at the end finally that Yuuna throws Kogarashi into the bath where every girl is there, and Kogarashi at the end basically says to Yuuna, this is basically him acknowledging that he does have feelings for her, and he says, I don't mind either. And I'm just like, good way to end it. Good way. And honestly, they did a DxD. They left it open enough to have another season, but they can leave it there. And that's kind of why I always like DxD. And it was well done. The fan service was top notch. It wasn't over the top like Test and the Sister New Devil. And this was a well done anime. I think this was one of my top 3, as I made a video previously, from the summer that I enjoyed. Honestly, I would put this next to DxD. That's how well done I think it is. But anyways, guys, what did you think of this episode? Did you enjoy it? Because I did. And are you going to miss it? Because I know I definitely will. But anyways, guys, this is Austin Doctor signing out. Peace.